All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another show of the Rock Forum, where rock has a voice. I am Jim McPhee. It's a pleasure to be with you. So my topic for tonight is going to be the Pantera reunion tour. Seems like a lot of people have had a lot of issues with this since discussing it or having it come out now that they were going to go through with this. It's been in the works for a couple of years. I mean, it's been always thrown out there. They should probably get together. They should do it. Maybe they could all, I don't know, bury the hatchet, get this thing together and make it happen. But since, the two Abbott brothers, Dimebag and Vinnie Paul, had passed away, it seemed like this thing really wasn't going to happen. But just as of recently, like I talked about in our last episode, the bands, like older bands that used to be around, had relevance, were relevant at times, had really come out back after the COVID situation had happened, and people were trying to put concerts back together. I brought up about Evanescence getting back together, Earth, Wind and Fire, Def Leppard, all these guys coming back out and touring again, because I think people are just so desperate to see some live shows again after all that was taken from them due to COVID. But Pantera, it's always been kicked around a little bit, and a lot of people, there's mixed reviews. You got the people out there that it's making headlines now that are really upset about it, thinks it's just disrespectful. It's a money grab by Phil Anselmo, which, it could be. I mean, he's always kind of been out for himself a lot of times. He had other side projects going on, Down for one, and a few others, but it is what it is. And he never had any bad blood with Rex Brown, the other member of Pantera, either. So they've always talked about getting it back together, always decided, was always up to Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. And ever since Dimebag was assassinated back in 2004, Vinnie Paul still held that against Phil Anselmo. So it really seemed like it wasn't going to happen. But now they had brought it up, and I mean, they couldn't have found better people to fill the spots, like Zakk Wilde, formerly of Black Label Society, and Ozzy Osbourne and things like that, to be playing guitar for them, and Charlie Benante too from Anthrax. I mean, these are all friends of the band members, and they've got the right kind of mindset, I think, when they go into this whole thing. They're going in there. They're not looking to shake things up. They're not going in as we're the new Pantera and we're going to be starting to put out new music and change things. They've even done their versions of cover bands before. I mean, Zakk Wilde was in, I think they even called it Zakk Sabbath or something like that. It was a like Black Sabbath type of tribute band where he did just all Black Sabbath tunes. So these guys are comfortable with doing things like that, and they're going in there with that mindset. They're going to go in there. Charlie even said, as he plays drums, he's not going to play it the way he plays for Anthrax and things like that. He's going to just listen to the way the songs were done by Vinnie Paul, Dimebag Darrell. They're going to play the songs the way you want to hear them, the way they were meant to be heard. They're not filling shoes. They're not doing any of that. They just want to enjoy a live show and give everybody kind of what they've been looking for. I think if for me, I mean, I'm excited when I hear this news that Pantera would be getting together and doing another tour. I know it's set probably to be in 2023. There's going to be a North American and a European tour. So, I mean, it gives everybody a chance to kind of see this happen. And I'm excited for it. I mean, if they do come near me, I'm going to try and see it. I think that's something I had missed out when I was younger. I never got an opportunity to see Pantera play. I did see Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul play when they played with Damage Plan, just even a few weeks before he was assassinated. And that was exciting. And that was a great time to see those guys. And I got their autographs and met them and drank a little bit afterwards with them, while they were doing the Blacktooth Grid and stuff. And I had a great time. It was a great memory for me to hang out with Dimebag and Vinnie Paul that night with Damage Plan. But I think moving forward with the tour, I think it'll be nice. It'll be cool to hear the music again and to keep this thing going. And the thing that I don't get why people are upset about it is because they've even asked the relatives of the estate, of Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell, if it was okay to do this. And they gave them their blessing that it's totally fine. They're there to do it. That's fine. So, I mean, if the family's okay with it and the rest of the guys are doing it, and I think there shouldn't be a problem. Now, I think maybe they should switch up the name of it, possibly. You can't exactly call it a reunion when they're not really reuniting. Only two of them are reuniting. The rest aren't with us anymore. So it should be just renamed the Tribute Tour. And not only just because those two are gone, because it is a tribute to the music. Whether Philip Anselmo was still with the band and Rex, they weren't the founding members. Vinnie Paul and Dimebag were the original founding members. So ultimately, it still is just a tribute band. And what they should do for the next, I think it's 2023 North American and European tour, set it as that. It's a tribute. It's a tribute to the music, the good times that we used to have. I think Pantera is one of those groups that I kind of always remember things I was doing as I was listening to Pantera and things like that. Everybody remembers the song "Walk." I mean, that "Walk" is like that's an anthem in its own. You hear it in arenas everywhere. As people are coming out of the tunnel, you're about to play on a field to get a game going, get you amped up. They're all anthems of our younger times, some good times. And back when metal music was probably in the forefront of things. I mean, Pantera was one of those groups that was really one of the trend-setting type of groups out there alongside of Metallica. I mean, you had Pantera right there with them. And Megadeth, 1990s, it was big. And I think it's a good thing. So anybody that has an issue with this tour, I mean, again, voice your opinion. Like, I understand that maybe at some aspect it could be considered disrespectful, but ultimately I think it's a good thing. And I think people are going to buy the tickets. People are going to go. It might be, I mean, I don't know what you're expecting out of a money grab. It might be, I mean, still to set these concerts up and get people to get all these tickets to go. I mean, still it costs a whole lot. I don't think they're also going to make millions off of this thing. And I'm sure that Zakk Wilde and Charlie Benante are not out to make millions off this tour. They really see it as a tribute. So when you look at this Pantera reunion tour, just really think of it as a tribute tour. And maybe they will rename it in 2023 when they do go forward with it, and rename it the Pantera Tribute Tour. So I think that's the way to look at it. I think, again, hearing people get upset about it is kind of insane, because I think that's the way to go. So I think it's going to be a very cool thing for people to experience. All right, we've got somebody in the house with us tonight. Pantera, they say, F and Pantera. It says Facebook user again, so I don't know who you are, but I don't know if there's some permission you guys have to let out there to let us know that you are watching from Facebook. But thank you for the comment. Absolutely. Speaking of thank yous too, I want to let you guys know that we are sponsored by Johnstone Supply in Troy. So just to let you know that summer, even though it's winding down, there's still time to stay cool here in upstate New York, and maybe gear yourself up too with your heaters too, because it's going to be winter pretty soon up here. It gets pretty cold quick. Who knows? Maybe we'll have that Indian summer. But either way, hey, get yourself a high efficiency central air system from Goodman, Fujitsu, and Westinghouse. They're all available there at Johnstone Supply in Troy. You can find them there on 6th Avenue, Troy, 2600 6th Avenue in Troy. You can call them at 518-272-5922. Ask for Kevin, James, or Bird. They can help you stay cool all summer long. They'll get you geared up for the winter. Absolutely. Or you can check them out at johnstonesupply.com. All right. And so in the midst of all this too, and thinking about Pantera, by the way, today is the birthday of Dimebag Darrell too as well. So he would have been 54 years old today if he was still with us. So happy birthday to Dimebag. I decided to do a top 5 Pantera albums. So I wanted to rank the albums here. So let's go start off with number 5 here. Who do I have for number 5? All right, the Great Southern Trendkill. Great Southern Trendkill. That album came out in 1996. And again, that one was kind of like it was 2 years removed from the Far Beyond Driven, and it had some pretty good hits. And I remember the title track, Great Southern Trendkill, Suicide Note Part 1 and 2. That one was like when they had a speed metal version, and then the slower song type of version of that. But the Great Southern Trendkill, another classic for me, pretty good. They're my top 5 right there, number 5. So next, number 4, Reinventing the Steel. Where is it? Right there. Sorry. Reinventing the Steel right there. So that's going to be my number 4 here, Reinventing the Steel. Now that one came out in 2020 or 2000. Yeah, no, it's 2000. That's what. Sorry, get my times wrong here, but in 2020, and or no, see, I said it again, 2000. Sorry, man. But the thing about that album too is that it was a little different. They went kind of back to their thrash metal type of sound a little bit, but I liked it. It was a lot different from the Great Southern Trendkills. Great Southern Trendkill, they tried to, I think, try to get back to I don't know, some different things, you know, that like kind of worked for them, like when they did Planet Caravan, like a cover like that. Back when they did Hollow, tried to touch on some of those different types of things, but Reinventing the Steel was back to that speed metal type of thrash metal type of deal. Really got you amped up and going. Songs like Revolution Is My Name, I'll Cast a Shadow, Hellbound. So that was my number 4 album for them. Next, number 3 for here we go. What am I doing here? There we go. Number 3, Far Beyond Driven. My 3 Far Beyond Driven here, 1994. Classic hits like 5 Minutes Alone, Shedding Skin, Becoming, I'm Broken, and Planet Caravan. Far Beyond Driven, right when it hit in 1994. I mean, this was when I think Pantera was right at their groove here. This is where they were really at the top of their level, and these hits just kept coming. And Planet Caravan, a really good cover of a Black Sabbath song, really kept it true to the way it sounded originally, even with the flanger on Phil's voice. Really kept it true to the way the original was. But Far Beyond Driven, one of their best, absolutely. But again, still not my number 1. All right, number 2 now. It's Cowboys from Hell. Cowboys from Hell, this could have been closely or easily my number 1, but when you look at it, I mean, there's out of these albums, it's really tough. You could pick anyone as your favorite here, but I was looking at the hits, the songs that really brought them to the forefront. And that's why when you look at Cowboys from Hell, you had the original title track, Cowboys from Hell, Cemetery Gates, Primal Concrete Sledge, and Domination. I mean, the riff that's in Domination, I mean, man, if you that doesn't get you off, I don't know what will, you know. So I mean, Domination, that's just after shredding throughout the whole song, and then they switch the gears up and break into that riff at the end. It's just amazing. So Cowboys from Hell, one of my favorite albums by Pantera. It sits there at number 2. Really amazing stuff. Again, stuff I used to jam in the car all the time. Still that is relevant today, but still not my number 1. So there you go. Headed to number 1. I've got Vulgar Display of Power. Now, Vulgar Display of Power, 1992. That ends up being a good year for music in general. I mean, if you look at 1992, I mean, so many big hits by so many good artists and albums that came out in 1992. That is, by many, could be considered one of the, like, maybe not the golden year of rock and roll, but pretty close. There's a lot of different things that came out in 1992 that was very big, very popular. And this is right when this is what really propelled, I think, Pantera into the forefront of metal right here. This album. I mean, Cowboys from Hell, that's when they changed up their sound from like that glam rock type of deal to flat out metal. And then they started to build from there. They hit this album right after that in 1992. Songs like Walk. I brought up Walk before about how that's just like an anthem. You can hear it now and it gets you amped up. You can see people running out of the tunnels onto the field, into the arena. It's just one of those anthems altogether that you won't forget. Mouth of War, This Love. I mean, another good song by them in that one. Hollow, another song to where I think a lot of people now, even with some groups, kind of stay to that formula. Hollow is one of those songs like Metallica's One, I'd guess. Metallica's One, slow through the whole thing, pretty much like a ballad as they're going through, and then towards the ending, it takes a turn for the heavy, and then it just hits you, and that's the way Hollow is for me. Back when even Phil had his singing voice back, because again, I think all that touring, screaming as he's going through, started to eventually lose his voice, but again, that's the golden time of Pantera right here. And fucking Hostile. I mean, that song, just again, another song. If Walk doesn't get you amped up, fucking Hostile should really get you amped up. I mean, that song is a classic. And if you look at this album, in all these ones, you could probably listen to all these albums from start to finish. I mean, so it's tough to find a top 5 here for me, but Vulgar Display of Power for Pantera has to be my number 1 favorite of all time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Absolutely. There you go. I've got, devil horns on there in the comments. I appreciate it. Yeah. Fucking Hostile. There you go. They are classics. They are songs to jam to, and they're going to be touring in 2023. Like I said, in North America and in Europe. So I'm excited to see it. People that are hating and really aren't supporting this whole thing. I think it's a step it's the wrong thing to do. I think eventually too, once all the planning set up too, because again, that's another a year or so away. They're gonna maybe set up some kind of proceeds of the concert go to the Dimebag and Vinnie Paul's family or something like that too. They'll make something out of it. So there you go. See, yeah, we're going. So that's gotta be Joe right there. So we're going, whoever it is, we are going. So there you go. Absolutely, man. And even if it is further away from me, then like we live in Albany up around here, if it's further away and I have to travel a little bit, hey, we'll just make it a trip. We'll get you guys out there. Anybody else that wants to join us here, we'll get a whole group together to do it. Really appreciate it. I also want to let you guys know that I really appreciate Mohawk Honda sponsoring the show as well too. Don't forget Mohawk Honda, despite all the change that's the supply unit that's really short right now across the eastern seaboard, Mohawk Honda will search everywhere. They'll search wherever you need to get the car that you want, to get the price that you deserve at the rate that you want. Roll out of there with the car that you want to be in. And also, if you got a car that you want to trade in, you're done with that ride, you want to put it down on something new, Mohawk Honda will take care of you for that. They've got the Kelly Blue Book instant cash offer still going on for them. So go to Mohawk Honda on Freeman's Bridge Road in Glenville, or check them out at mohawkhonda.com. Mohawk Honda, where they go out of their way to please you. That's right. So that's it for my show tonight, though. But let me know what you guys think about this topic here, the Pantera tour. I'm excited. Why people are hating on it, why they're not, I don't get it. But again, we'll see what happens. I'm glad that they got Zakk Wilde, Charlie Benante. I think that's the perfect set to play drums and play guitar to fill in for Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. But I'm excited to see this. And let me know what you guys think about the video. Also, in your top 5, give me your top 5 if you agree with my top 5 or not. Just let me know. All right, that's the Rock Forum, where rock has a voice. I'll see you guys next time.